Now to our exclusive look into the future of southeast Queensland. Fast forward to the year 2050, how our lives are shaped and how our cities grow will depend on how we deal with the challenges of today. Adam Marshall looks into the crystal ball and you won't believe what lies ahead.
This is the world we live in today. By 2050, it will look like this. We're on the cusp of a data revolution. How we live, work and play is about to change.
So by 2050, how we see space and time will shift dramatically.
World-renowned futurist Professor Suhail Inayatullah envisages three possible directions southeast Queensland will take. The hot and paved highway. If nothing changes, we'll just have one big city from Coolangatta to Noosa. Then there's the tensions boiling scenario. Conflict will rise between different subcultures as population grows. Or we'll be clean, green and smart. An environmental focus, flexible working hours. And as a result, the best and brightest will flock to Queensland.
Now, if Queensland can do that, that puts it in great shape globally.
The state's population by 2050 will double, tipping 10 million. 5 million will live in the southeast.
We will have a city more or less the size of Sydney, sprawled across a vast area of southeast Queensland.
KPMG demographer Bernard Salt says while the Brisbane CBD will continue to be the nerve centre, bustling CBDs will rise in Ipswich, Caboolture and Logan.
I think that's the next stage in development, taking Brisbane from 2 million people to 5 million people by the middle of the century.
The biggest challenge we'll face is the environment. By then, it's predicted sea levels will rise by almost 0.5 metre. This is how Brisbane could look. Much of Eagle Farm and the airport will be flooded. On the Gold Coast, Carrara will be underwater.
The research I've seen, there's over $30 trillion of assets at risk.
What will most likely happen is billions will be spent on flood and tide mitigation to protect this land. Our city will be powered by batteries, charged by solar power stations and wind farms.
I would definitely be looking at non-oil future solutions.
Cars will run on electricity or green fuel, connect with other cars, street signs, even people, and when necessary, drive themselves.
Hey, sis.
Your car told me you're going to be late. Don't worry, we'll wait for you.
Mobile phones will resemble a pane of glass. You can have a meeting on the run. If you'd prefer, rather than using the mobile phone, use your glasses.
So everyone becomes a hyperlink. So with my Google Glasses, I click on you, you click on me. It creates a new environment where the virtual blends with the physical.
Our biggest employers will be in health and well-being, ageing, biotechnologies and virtual tourism. We'll either work where we live, in office spaces where the walls are interactive, or in small communities that you won't even need to venture out of.
If we have full informational technologies and say you have to give a speech somewhere, why would you go? You would send your hologram.
More apartment living, certainly in these regional hubs, if you like.
We do expect to see 100-storey plus buildings.
It would transform the Brisbane CBD, dwarfing our highest towers. Matthew Gross from National Property Research says prices will also dwarf today's.
Now, the average house price in Brisbane at the moment is $520,000. If you index that out at 5%, you're looking at somewhere around about $3.2 million.
Schooling will be more interactive. The days of the traditional classrooms are long gone. When it comes to medicine, we will know every little bit about the human body from head to toe. Surgery will be done by a 3D printer, just like our food, but that technology is available right now.
As long as you can create it in the computer, you can make it out of whatever you can put through the syringe.
Soon, everyone will have a 3D printer in their home. No need for the supermarket, unless you want a piece of steak, but it'll most likely come from a test tube. In vitro meat will be produced in labs. It'll be 100% pure muscle with healthy additives. Those labs will probably be run by lifelike robots such as this, the RoboThespian.
My movements are created in Blender, an open source 3D animation program.
Well, we're seeing an uptake of robots as nannies in factories, in surveillance, even for courts. There's even one guy I read a piece on, he wants to marry his robot.
All of this seems overwhelming, but it's within reach according to Professor Inayatullah. who says we'll all have a niche zone in our homes as opposed to lounge rooms to cope with the information overload.
As the technological trends keep on going faster and faster, people will want to slow down. So if you go out to 2050, people doing things like meditation, relaxation, anything to slow themselves down, because they'll be stressed out, right?
Right or wrong, it's a bold new world. We'll have to just ride the wave.